Hi, I am Galit Elias, and I help couples to speak openly and create for themselves a joyful and even unusual relationship. This time I provide a festive training towards New Year. You can choose to listen to it and enjoy it anytime you wish. However, the time before New Year is good for taking a break, for observation. What do we actually have here? What is good for me? What would I like to change? And what do I really want but do not have it yet? A kind of new choice in our relationship. This is a great time to check which behavior and conduct of mine do not serve me and my relationship anymore. What do I want very much but still do not possess? And to think about what I must do in order to implement changes, so that the coming year, and of course the others following it, will be different. And in this way, to actually create the relationship we have always dreamed of in our own hands. Most likely, it will not happen all at once. It won't always be easy, since our unwanted behaviors has been part of our conduct in our relationship for years and sometimes even for decades. And we cannot leave them completely in a few minutes. Nevertheless, we have the power and ability to make changes. It is a matter of choice, a matter of will, and of willpower. So this training will be like a first step to this direction. We will define exactly what we want, what I want, what our partner wants. We will express our choice and define it explicitly in a sort of bird's view, even if it seems impossible at the moment. In the spirit of the holiday, what would I want most to happen in our relationship? I will provide guidelines as soon as we go on, so you don't have to do anything yet. We will try to understand what you would really want to happen and why it is so significant for you, and several other things that we will discover later. That's how we will be able to create the desired changes by firstly defining it for ourselves. So let's go. Make some time, with no children around, no television, no telephones or any other buzzing devices, just you and your partner. Find a comfortable place where you can sit across each other within touching distance. I would like a candle. I don't know, whatever makes it nice for you. Create a romantic atmosphere for yourselves. Over the next few minutes, with my guidance, only one of you will be speaking while the other listens and reflects. There will be very accurate instructions. You have nothing to worry about. After the first person talks and the other listens, switch turns so the person who listened can talk and the person who talked can listen. There will be guidance for this step as well. So choose who is the first person to share, who speaks first, and we can begin. Anyway, I wrote this training as if directed to the female partner who starts. Okay. So you start by telling your partner, one thing that I appreciate in you is, and I trust you to find at least one thing that you appreciate in him, and let him know. I appreciate you for being diligent, that you are a good father, that you appreciate me, that you are considerate, whatever. There are millions of things that we do not always express out loud, but they definitely exist. And then he reflects you in this way. I hear you saying that you appreciate me for. Now I want to take a short time to say that in this method of guidance, the partner does not reflect his own interpretation or what he understands or thinks that you said. He only uses your exact words. There is a lot of wisdom behind this method. I don't want to get into it right now. Simply go with it. He reflects your words, but it doesn't have to be a test, or it isn't kind of test. So if he doesn't remember, he should ask you to repeat yourself. And then you say to him, one thing that is very important to me in our relationship, and I'm happy with it, is something that you already have. It could be something like the fact that you go out once a week, or once, I don't know, or that you go out occasionally, or that you feel like your partner supports you. Anything goes. One thing that is very important to you and that you are happy to have. And he reflects. I hear that what is very important to you in our relationship is. Next you say, it is so meaningful to me because it makes me feel, and you try to understand why it is so important to you. What do you feel when this happens? For example, it means so much to me that you are supportive, if that's what you said before, because it makes me feel secure, because I feel that I'm not alone, or I know that you are beside me. This is a kind of deepening and extension of the previous section. And then he repeats or responds. I hear that it is so meaningful to you because then you feel so and so. If you want to add something, add it by saying, I would like to be more accurate about what I said, or in addition, I would like to say that, and then you continue. An especially moving memory that I have from you from the past year is, and you try to remember something that happened and moved you. It can be something that he did with the children, or something that he did with himself, or something that he did with you, something that happened during the last year and moved you. And he reflects. I hear that an especially moving memory that you have from me is. And now, try to think of a behavior of yours that does not suit you anymore. It bothers you, it isn't good for your relationship, and you are willing to part with it. This doesn't mean that you are making a promise. It doesn't mean that you will succeed immediately. It only means that you are pointing out a behavior that you would like to part with. You do not know how yet. You are only defining it right now. No pressure. Some sort of behavior that you would like to part with. And now I have a request for your partner to make a promise quietly for himself not to buzz you regarding it in the future, in all those occasions that you won't succeed. At least try to accept that you are going to do your best, and criticism will not help here. And when you are ready, you say it like this. A behavior of mine that I would like to part with is, and he reflects. I hear that a behavior of yours that you would like to part with is, and you continue. Something that I dream about in our relationship is. Something that you would really want to have in your relationship, which you don't have it at the moment, even if it doesn't sound reasonable, even if it isn't look like possible right now, and even if there are lots of excuses and reasons why it can't be. But you dream about it, so you have the right to point it out. Again, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that it will happen tomorrow. It doesn't mean that he has to do it. It doesn't mean that you have to do it. You are pointing out something that you dream of in your relationship. Something that you don't have yet and you would very much like to have. It will be very helpful if you say it in I position. Not something that you ask him to do, but something that you wish you have together. And he reflects. I hear that in our relationship you dream of having. Now we bring it down to reality a bit. So, if you said before that you dream of being good friends and it isn't concrete enough, now you want to say, in everyday life, this is how it would look like. For example, every day when you get home from work, we will sit down together and we will speak about what happened to us during the day. Or every morning before you leave the house, you will give me a kiss. It doesn't matter, but it needs to be a daily occurrence, in everyday life reality, something that is totally concrete, something that will be a sign for you that your dream is coming true. And he reflects. I hear you say that your dream of the way it will be expressed in everyday life is. Now, the partner summarizes it all in a few sentences. What you like in the relationship, what you enjoy, what you would like to let go of, a behavior that you would want to part with, and especially moving memory from the past, what you dream of in your relationship, and how would that dream look like in daily life. Summarize the gist of it. And he then adds, regarding your dream, I can imagine that what you feel is, adding a few emotions such as happiness, joy, excitement, whatever he experienced when you spoke of your dream. And then he asks, are these your emotions? And you confirm or add additional emotions and say, yes, that is how I feel, or I would say differently. Sharing your emotions with him. Next he says, one thing that touched me in your words was, and he points out one thing that you said that really moved him, and adds, thank you for sharing me. And now you switch. You do the same thing with the role reversed. That's it for now. We are done. I wish you the best of luck in this process and in fulfilling yourselves in your relationship and in the growth of each one of you in general. I recommend writing down in a diary or a notebook or even on a note that will be hung on the mirror in the shower, each one with his own or her own note. Something important that you take upon yourself from this process for the new year. This way you will be able to remember your intention through the year, or to read the note at the end of the year and see what you achieved thanks to it. It will help you to focus on, or to be focused on the fulfillment of the desires for your relationship that you expressed here. So I hope you have a relationship of listening and understanding and the mutual growth, and a relationship of a partnership and a true friendship. Goodbye.